Can we just take a minute to appreciate the Oscar level acting we've been getting from the man himself, Michael C. Hall? I mean, dude, it's not like I was doubting he would be able to pull something like this off in Resurrection, but honestly, man, I'm more than impressed. Now, everyone who's watched the original series knows just how good Michael C. Hall was and how hard he carried those later rather lackluster seasons. It's crazy to me that he doesn't get more notoriety for his performance, and no, I'm not saying he's unknown, but still, man, I would put him somewhere in my top 3 actors of all time without a doubt, and I'm sure many of you would as well. Now, although he has made millions and millions of dollars from the original Dexter series and even more for his return in these spin-offs, you can genuinely tell this guy returned mostly for the love of the game. And I know many people say, oh well, I'm sure he just decided to come back because he got a lot of money. But honestly, I find it inaccurate to say that's the sole reason why he returned. Like some of you might have seen in the video I made about his life as an actor many months prior to Resurrection being released, you could find clips of this man doing the most wild stunts ever in broad daylight that, put quite simply, you couldn't pay me to do. But believe it or not, Michael C. Hall genuinely likes being an actor and embodying different complex people. I mean, just take a look at his performance in 6 Feet Under. Somehow in everything he's in, he finds a way to remain himself while also completely changing some aspects. And when it comes to Resurrection, boy oh boy is he topping his previous performances as Miami's most beloved serial killer, Dexter Morgan. I mean, after all, Michael is pushing his mid-50s and has the money he needs to retire and chill on some beach laying in the sun. However, he still manages to pull through for the Dexter fan base, and not only that, he gives us a spectacular performance that is on par with everything that was great about the character in the first few seasons of the original show. For starters, in the latest episode, we get a scene between Dexter and Angel as he's dying. The acting between not only Michael C. Hall but David Zayas could truly make a grown man cry, and most importantly, the kicker was right after he passes away, as we hear one of the most gut-wrenching screams in the entire show. That moment in particular, I'm sure reminded all OG fans regarding when Dexter crashed out in season 5 right after Rita's death. And I think that's the beauty of Resurrection. It's constantly calling back to the raw emotion of the original series while still pushing Dexter into new territory. Like, if you've been a fan since the early 2000s, watching that scream hit in Resurrection is almost like a gut punch reminder of why you fell in love with the show in the first place. It's not just about the kills or the code anymore, it's about those rare moments where Dexter's mask fully cracks, and you can see the broken man underneath. That's the kind of thing Michael C. Hall does better than anybody else. He has this way of making you feel sympathy for a literal serial killer, and not in a cheesy or forced way, but in a way where you're sitting there thinking, damn, I get why he's in this much pain. That's masterclass acting right there, and honestly, it's what separates Resurrection from just being another revival series. It's a continuation that respects the audience's emotional memory of these characters. Now, I do also have to give props to the writers for implementing this scream at the very end, as it adds a whole other level of death towards what just happened. And it tells us that this death is arguably somewhat on par with that of Rita's. After all, Batista and Dexter were best friends for over a decade at Miami Metro. And although we see their friendship quickly fade away in Resurrection, those memories are still very much alive within Dexter's heart. Just think about the level of preparation Michael C. Hall had to do building up to that scene. You can just see on his face right before he lets out the scream, all his anger, all the emotions, all the chaos building up within him before it erupts. It's quite literally history repeating itself right in front of his eyes a decade later, at a time where he thought his life was finally getting back on the right track. Now, enough emotional talk. Hall in this season has also been able to pull off scenes on the complete other end of the scale. Take for example how he acts at the dinner parties, or hell, when he calls the cops on Lady Vengeance, whipping out the OG Freebo voice.
There's a guy screaming next door. I think some chick's trying to murder him. I heard her call herself Lady Vengeance or some shit. You gotta send help. Stay calm, my ass. The guy's in trouble. It's Lady Vengeance.
Moments like these are what makes Resurrection so reminiscent of the original show, both holding the perfect mix between comedy and extremely dark moments. And what's even cooler about Resurrection is how it really highlights Dexter in situations we never fully explored before. Like seeing him deal with modern tech, social media, and a whole new generation of killers just makes the character feel fresh again. Michael C. Hall nails those moments where Dexter looks slightly out of place but still 10 steps ahead of everyone else. It almost feels like watching an older athlete come back to the game and still dominate, reminding everyone why he was legendary to begin with. That's the exact energy Hall is bringing every single week. week. And honestly, man, I think what makes all of this even crazier is the way fans have rallied behind him during Resurrection. Like, you scroll through any comment section after a new episode drops, and it's just people saying, "This is the Dexter I remember," or "Michael C. Hall is carrying television right now." That tells you everything you need to know about how much of an impact this guy has had on not just the franchise, but the entire fan base. Because let's be real, a revival like this could have gone sideways real fast if the main actor didn't come back with the same hunger. We've seen it happen with other shows where the lead kind of phones it in or looks tired of their own character, and it drags everything down. But here, Michael is treating every scene like it's a make or break moment, and that's why people are tuning in every week with genuine excitement. It doesn't feel like a cash grab reboot. It feels like a continuation that actually honors what came before, and that's rare. So when we're talking about his dedication, it's not just about him showing up on set. It's about him putting his entire soul into making Dexter feel alive again. You can tell he respects the fans enough to not give us a watered down version of the character, and in this day and age, that's priceless. In every single scene, you can see how immersed Michael C. Hall really is and how he embodies the character of Dexter. He doesn't look like he's being dragged onto set and that he's just doing it to get a bag and dip. This guy looks like he's having the time of his life, whilst of course making a little something on the side. Now, most actors would begin to get tired of playing a character for pretty much their whole career, but Hall, regardless of the unsuccessful conclusions, continues to return to the Dexter franchise, whether it be in New Blood, the internal monologue in Original Sin, and of course Resurrection. He even speaked about his enthusiasm regarding the spin-off continuing for 2 to 3 more seasons, describing that he's not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. And like I mentioned, a huge reason why Resurrection is successful is of course because of the writers. But if it weren't for Hall's acting dedication to the series, the spin-off would be nowhere near as successful as it is now. He just does such a good job at not being over the top and showing almost raw, genuine human emotion in what essentially is a fictional world. Take for example the scene in episode 9 when Harrison and him are talking about Prater's serial killer club. As Dexter is discussing the people he's taken care of, Harrison stops him at the Gemini killer. After all, the Gemini killer is probably one of the most infamous serial killers in their universe. You can just see the look on Dexter's face when he tells Harrison that he not only discovered they were twins, but simultaneously took both of them out within days of figuring it out. This to me was one of the more subtle but extremely hype moments in the show, where we are finally getting to see Dexter brag about how better he is than all these quote-unquote amateurs, as if he was telling his son, "Look, I'm the best of the best." Now, I know the last episode got leaked online, which sucks immensely, but just be careful on social media to not get spoiled or anything. As always, I'm going to be waiting for Friday to watch it and have a speedy review up for y'all on the highly anticipated conclusion of the first season. If you want to dive even deeper into these discussions with exclusive videos, guaranteed replies, and your name featured at the end of every upload, you can become a channel member for just $2.99. It helps out a ton and keeps this type of content going. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and drop your own thoughts and theories in the comments down below. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hop into the Discord where we talk about all your favorite shows and media. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.